P from the D and Chet here. Thank you all for listening to Litterbox, a Detroit Tigers podcast. If you enjoy the show, please make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. We love hearing your thoughts too. Leave us a rating or just drop us a comment. Please let us know what you think and whatever you want us to cover next. Your feedback really helps us grow and keeps the Tigers talk rolling all season long. Go Tigers, and thank you.
Look, we get it, Tiger fans. We know the baseball season can be a grind. Luckily, when you're ready to trade hot dogs for tailgates, we've got you covered with Litterbox, a Detroit Lions podcast. It's the same unfiltered Detroit sports talk you get here, just with more biting kneecaps and fewer bullpen meltdowns. So when Sunday rolls around, don't just pace around like AJ Hinch waiting for a reliever. Fire up Litterbox, a Detroit Lions podcast, wherever you're listening now, and roar with us through the NFL season. You're listening to The Litterbox, a Detroit Tigers podcast, with your hosts, Chet West and Bill Patterson. Welcome back to The Litterbox, a Detroit Tigers podcast. We really appreciate you guys listening along with us. We're approaching episode 50 here, somewhere in the next week or two, probably right before the season ends. So stick with us. We got some fun stuff coming up. Bill, for today's topic, to kick things off, Tigers played the Mets. They lost 2 out of 3. Mets are a surging team right now, a playoff team. But I want to cross a bridge that one of our listeners approached me with in our comments section over the past couple weeks. He asked me what my favorite nacho topping was. And this is a tough one for me. It's typically, the topping for me that makes the most difference on a nacho is the cheese and how you do the cheese. So I sat there and I started thinking through kind of all the different nachos I've had in my life, and I've had many acquaintances with the dish. One that I kept going back to in my head and kept referring back to in regard to the cheese was the 7-Eleven nacho. Bill, what do you think of when you think of the 7-Eleven nacho? Or the Sevi nacho, as we called it.
I don't think of 7-Eleven as a place to eat, ever.
Did you not go to college? And did you not have a 7-Eleven nearby?
Yes, I did go to college, and yes, we had multiple 7-Elevens, but no, loyal listener Reeve knows this. He turned me on to the ultimate hangover helper at 7-Eleven, which is getting a big gulp with every flavor of Gatorade they have on tap mixed together, extra ice.
Is this a midday delight?
No, this is the morning after.
This is a morning
cure-all.
after cure-all.
Yeah.
So the Sevi nacho was the end of the evening for me.
Yeah, okay.
Your listener, Brett, brings this question, by the way. We should call that out. Brett, thanks for the question.
It's a great question, but hold on. I have questions within the question. So we got
Go ahead.
Sidetracked on this.
Yeah.
Just because I haven't had a 7-Eleven nacho should not derail.
Okay.
I have 2 questions on this. One, are we talking only ballpark nachos? And then number 2.
Well, this is where this goes. So stick with us here.
Okay. Well, so as far as toppings go, the nacho is the sum of its parts. There is no greater food than all of it coming together at one. I am
are you a believer that one topping can mess up the whole dish?
A believer that one topping is not enough, and that doesn't I strongly, vehemently will not order ballpark nachos.
The helmet nacho isn't a thing for you?
I'll do it only if kids want me to buy them the helmet.
It's a novelty. It's a novelty.
Yeah, and fortunately, we've outgrown that. My son Grady and nephew Cooper did a helmet nacho at the cell before the shower. Yeah, a few seasons back, but outside of that, I haven't. Ironically, he's not a keepsake type of kid, and he still has the White Sox helmet in his closet.
That helmet.
Yeah,
Does it have dried cheese on it and everything on the inside?
That's what the shower's for, baby.
That's what the shower's for. That's how you got it cleaned up. So I sat and I thought about this. And for me, the cheese can mess up the whole thing. Either the cheese or they're just 100%. Being like too much awful meats on it or something like that. But I love the meat. I love the cheese. There's a balance, and the type of cheese matters. The Sevi nacho for what it was, which was a late night cure-all for me. It was the ride home. You're done with the bars. You're done with the night out. It's 2:30 in the morning. You're looking for something to satiate your hunger, as it were, after a few too many. And I think that at the time, that was what we had. We didn't have burrito places on campus. So all we had was 7-Eleven and like a Euro stop or something down the road. And I never went to that.
Wait.
Euros don't ring 2:30 in the morning to me, but that 7-Eleven nacho kept calling me.
No on Euros, yes on 7-Eleven nachos.
Yes, they kept calling me. It was like on the way home from everything. There was a line in there. I mean, people were getting these things. Sometimes if you felt a little extra, you'd get them to sprinkle some of that beautiful meat on there.
Okay.
It was orange. It was orange meat, by the way.
That is disgusting.
Yep.
Probably not chorizo. Hey,
you're flashing back to something right now. You're all locked up.
So when you got to Chicago, I don't want to say you had an issue, but you definitely had a burrito habit.
I mean, it was paradise.
Yes.
I had 3 burrito joints within a block of where I lived for many years.
So I'm now guessing that the Sevi nachos were your training wheels or gateway drug to your burritos.
They very much were. Well, we ended up getting a burrito place, 2 burrito places on our college campus toward the end of. So I got time to refine my late night eating palate. But the Sevi nacho is kind of the gateway drug to the late night eating. I mean, there was nothing else open at 2:30 in the morning. So you'd just go in there and you'd grab this paper boat, if you will, of nachos that have been sitting in the little chip rotunda thing there forever, and they'd just take a scooper of this cheese and just slop it on there. Maybe sprinkle some of that orange meat. But when the burritos came, oh boy. I mean, the burrito late night eating was something to look forward to.
So your 7-Eleven didn't even trust you enough to dispense your own cheese? I thought that was like common practice at most 7-Eleven.
No. It sat at the register. I think people would just sit back there and house the stuff if it was sitting off to the side or something.
Get a big gulp cup and just fill it with cheese.
Just fill it with cheese and start dipping chips in the back aisle there. I think that would have gotten unruly. But we ended up, like I said, I graduated, as you brought up the burritos. And the funny thing is, at the burrito place, they had nachos, and I rarely ever ordered them. I would get a burrito with this massive cup of greasy fries. I'm going to put all of this in my book called How to Gain 25 Pounds Overnight, because that's pretty much what I was able to do. I might have gained 50 overnight, to be dead honest with you. You knew me back then, metabolism isn't what it once was.
And you did love your burritos. So going back to it, the cheese is the
topping,
glue
Brett. Yeah.
that makes it all happen.
For listener Brett, the cheese is my topping. And then it sounds ridiculous, but it is what it is.
So
can't have a nacho without it.
I like to do as many additional toppings as possible. Most ballparks only offer jalapenos. Fortunately, here in Chicago, we do have 7 toppings that go on a Chicago-style hot dog. And so the smart move, in my opinion, is to order your nachos, just your round Tostito-style chip. And your cheese. And then your jalapenos. And then make a quick beeline over to where there are additional toppings for the Chicago-style dog. Hopefully you can grab some tomatoes. Hopefully you can grab some.
You're borrowing.
Hey, you know what? I paid my.
You paid your fare.
I paid my admission and I bought my food. If I can get some diced onions, if I can ever get black olives, but that's not a Chicago topping.
Yeah. The black olive is a sneaky topping on a nacho.
Oh, so sneaky. Yeah, salty.
It's a very sneaky, it does add something. I will say a runner-up might be like a good black onion or a black olive.
Yeah.
Followed by maybe some decent onions that aren't too, not too much. You don't want them to be terribly voluminous. But
I feel like the peppers are there because they provide additional acidity and crunch. Honestly, if I had to say this, nachos are a food that I don't necessarily need meat on, meaning that give me guacamole, give me sour cream, give 100%. Me salsa, give me onions, peppers, olives, anything. Totally.
The soft spreads and whatnot work on there really well.
Yeah.
So I will say one of the more dangerous things you can do with toppings to a Sevi nacho, a 7-Eleven nacho, is to put jalapenos on there.
Okay.
That is like Hurricane Katrina in your lower GI the next morning. If you go with that cheese, that meat and the jalapenos, it's not going to do well. If you need that big gulp, a resuscitation drink that you and our other listener, Reeve, specialized in.
Yeah, it's the RB.
It's the RB.
It's not the RX, it's the RB.
The RB.
All right, enough on nachos.
Enough on nachos. Everybody's stomachs should feel great now. Let's get into the game, Bill. What did you see? What did you see in this series?
A lot of frustration because the Tigers led in all 3 games, but couldn't hold the lead. And this is going to be my big volley to you as well as we kind of wrap up. The pitching is really becoming a problem. The bats did not let us down this series. Runs were scored.
Plentiful.
But the Tigers could not stop the Mets offense. So game 1 was 10-8 and loss for the Tigers. Game 2 was a 12-5 loss. And then things rebounded and the Tigers won, which is good. My prediction was they'd win 1 out of 3. I never thought this was going to be a great series for us. It's a good measuring stick because it's a good team. In game 3, though, Chet, Casey Mize got the win. He is now 13-5 with a 3.87 ERA.
Yep.
Is there ever been, in recent memory, a Tigers pitcher that is less exciting, has less swing and miss stuff, that somehow has 13 wins? Or he should finish the season with...
He's just been very, outside of since the All-Star break, you've called this out that he's struggled a little bit. Okay. And that's totally and completely just a titch. Okay. I know you're doing the little, but he struggled a little bit. But then we get an outing like, he was the stopper in this deal here. He played the stopper. He got out there. He gave us a chance to win. I think if he comes out for the 6th inning, he gets absolutely rolled. And I think it was a really good decision by Hinch to bring him back and sit him down after 5. I mean, give him a good outing under his belt going down through the stretch run here. A very good managerial decision there. Of course, Tyler Holton came out and did his best to try to throw the game away, walked one, gave up a hit, gave up a run immediately, and got yanked after a 1/3 of an inning. So,
which then led to our boy, Tommy Cannelly coming in.
Tommy Cannelly, who just walked people.
He just walked people. Just walked.
Now he's just walking guys with a changeup, which, oof. Tommy, we need Tommy to figure it out because guys like Holton are starting to regress quite a bit as the season goes on. Interestingly enough, Will Vest had minor struggles in that game too. And he gave up a walk, which is a rare Vesty thing to do in some senses, but lately has become somewhat regular. I'm still holding a 2.7 ERA. Got out of the inning in a 1/3. I like Vest for an inning. When he has to go out and come back, I'm not a huge fan of that. But we saw Rafael Montero.
Another sighting.
At the end of the game. He seems to be like if Will Vest doesn't work, we just throw Rafi out there and see what blows loose here. But
well, there's a reason behind that as well, and that was that Finnegan was warming up in the pen and experienced groin tightness. I've been checking for updates, and I think they're just going to treat it with kid gloves. And I don't know that we're going to see Kyle Finnegan this weekend against the upcoming opponent, the Chicago White Sox. I think, this is, and I don't mean to preview too much, but if there's ever been a good or get right situation, White Sox at Comerica call-ups are expanded, meaning the roster's now, expanded by 2 spots. Bring some guys up, play musical chairs with the pen, do what you have to do. Just get out of here with 2 out of 3 or a sweep.
Yeah. We got to catch some pen magic down the stretch here somewhere. And if it's got to be a call-up, it's got to be a call-up.
So this is my big question for you. I mean, we can recap the games, but I think really what's on most of our listeners' minds and really what's on our minds is what do you do with this pitching staff, Chet? I had the pleasure of visiting the Cubs general manager, Jed Hoyer, or president, I guess, office a few years back. And he had a big dry erase board in his office, and it said, find more pitching.
Sure.
And
it's a commodity, right?
He wrote it in Sharpie on a dry erase board, meaning so that it could never be erased. And that was his mantra and his belief every day. And I have to feel that Scott Harris and others feel the same way. I know we called it dumpster diving, but Scott, I guess, given we don't know what parameters he was given by the Ilitch family or Chris Ilitch. We also don't know, what's going to happen with Major League Baseball's labor going forward. Maybe the Tigers do make a best effort to re-sign Tarek Skubal. I mean, these are all X factors and questions we don't know. We still need more pitching. And
we're always going to need it. It's like the commodity that you can never have enough of.
Yeah.
I feel like there isn't a single team. If you think back over the last couple trade deadlines, do you remember anyone being like, it's going to be a light deadline for pitching? It's never a light It's always teams looking for starters, looking for back end rotation guys, looking for relievers, looking for guys to close games out. I mean, this trade deadline was like the peak of this, but I look at our games. I'm not even going to cover the hitters. Like game 1, you got Morton going 3.2, which is what we sort of expected from
Uncle
Morton.
Charlie.
We sort of just expected he wasn't going to be that great, and he gave us some good starts. So in the end, I think the signing of Morton worked. We got a couple wins out of him, but he goes 3.2, gives up 6 runs, walks 4 guys. Montero comes out, pitches 2/3, does okay, walks his token batter. Montero's always going to put somebody on base. You don't want to bring Montero in with the bases loaded because I think automatically a run's going to score at some point. Drew Sevy Nacho Summers went out there and gave up 3 runs. I don't know if Drew is the solution.
Drew's ERA at the end of game 1 ballooned to 18. You heard me right. 18.00.
Yeah.
He has been sent back down to Toledo.
Yeah.
And I think he
wasn't the answer.
He might just need a little more seasoning, let's say.
A little more seasoning on those nachos. Troy Melton, 2 2/3. He gave up a run, gave up 2 walks, struck out 3. Over 2 2/3, Melton gets asked to do these long relief spots because I think he's going to end up back in the rotation.
He's going to be in the rotation.
Yeah, they did bring up Kiter Montero. They brought him back up, so we'll see how he fits the mold. But I think Melton's going to get put into this rotation at some point. He does. If he went let's just suppose he went 5 2/3 for us and gave up 2 runs. I
totally
think we'd
fine.
Be ecstatic.
Ecstatic.
We'd be ecstatic.
You'll get to see my cartwheel, which is ugly to say the least. Hey, can I have a jersey idea, and it's a terrible one.
Okay.
You're going to hate it.
Perfect. Good. Love terrible ideas.
Now that we've got 2 Monteros out of the pen, you and I need to get matching Montero jerseys.
Wow.
You get Raphael and I get Kenter.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a good investment. I'm not a
investment.
jersey guy per se, but I don't know if that's a good investment either way.
Chet, I can't think of money more well wasted than that move there.
That is throwing money away.
Good money that could be spent on Sevy Nachos.
Many Sevy Nachos that I don't eat anymore, by the way. Those are not, they don't go into the stomach. The stomach is, it's made of, thin tissue paper at this point.
I know you got a vegan bratwurst last time you were at a Twins game. Did you also get like the basic nachos at that Twins game?
Yeah, I got a nacho. So what I got was that vegan bratwurst, and then I had to counter it with something that tasted good. So I went with a regular old ballpark dog, and then I believe I had a nacho of some sort while I sat and watched.
But not a helmet.
Not a helmet. I can't eat nachos out of plastic. It's a weird deal. I can't eat the plastic with my food. It's just gross.
You haven't put the wax paper down.
No, I don't think they do that at
they do that?
Target. Do they?
You got to ask.
Is that a special request?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know you could do. I thought the idea was like you get the helmet, you get the cheese in it.
You don't know where that
if you have too many drinks.
You don't know where that helmet's been.
I don't know where it's been. That's why I don't want my nachos in it. All right. So game 2, Sawyer Gibson Long. Also probably not the solution, Bill. 4 innings pitched, 6 runs. Now it's become like when our starters blow up, they give up 6 runs within 3 or 4 innings. It's just the number, I think. Very odd to me. Bailey Horn, he did a decent job. Gave up 2 hits, but no runs over an inning and a third.
And he hasn't been recalled yet either, so he's still up with the big league club.
No. Paddock, 1 1/3, 6 runs.
I don't like this move.
Oh, more Chris Paddock. I'm not 100% sure I'm on board with him as a reliever either. I don't know what we do with him. I'm another guy that just seems so broken and so hittable. Tommy Canley did come out and pitch 1/3 of an inning, 1/3 of an inning, 4 pitches, nothing across. Good job, Tommy. That's a great spot for Tommy. Come out and get out of the inning. That's what we need.
Guess what all 4 pitches were?
I'm going to bet they were changeups.
All
Sliders.
4.
Were they sliders?
No.
Were they two-seamers? No. They were changeups.
Changeups.
Hannafy came out and pitched another good inning of ball, another clean inning. That's 2 games in a row. They brought him out for an inning, and he pitched clean. So maybe we get a Brennan Hannafy resurrection here toward the end of the season.
That would be excellent.
And then we got, finish your thought. I got so excited to talk about this next one, but please.
I was just going to say he is someone that we need coming back.
Yeah.
I've already mentioned that Tyler Holton's had his issues, but I also think Tyler Holton's issues are, if you look at their XY axis or relationship, it's directly corresponding with overutilization.
Yes. Yeah, probably.
And I'm a Holton fan, and I also think he's done yeoman's work and done everything that has been asked of him as a Detroit Tiger this season. I'm not making excuses. He's not pitching his best right now, and Hannafy's gone through a similar process. It seems that overutilization leads to least or less effectiveness. That's why I think this weekend's so important to bring up the Bailey Horns.
Yeah.
I would recall Chase Lee.
Yeah.
Reports
are that he's unlocked something in the minors, apparently, so maybe we'll see something there.
Yeah, but you were talking about Hannafy and going through the list.
Then the last guy to close that one out, because the game had gotten out of hand a little bit, was Jake Rogers. And Jake Rogers has one of the lowest ERAs of any of our pitchers right now. Oh, by the way, he's our catcher with the mustache. How is that possible?
The 5th lowest ERA on the team.
He's a 2.45 ERA for Jake Rogers, and he pitched a clean inning. Do we need to convert him to a pitcher?
That
would be incredible.
I mean, we're
teach him a knuckleball and just let him throw it out there. So the last game, we did kind of cover this already. Mize was brilliant for 5 innings. Tyler Holton, not so much. Canley came out, gave up 2 walks. Not great, but didn't give up any runs. Over an inning, a third Vest. And then Montero. We discussed this, seeing a Montero sighting at the tail end of the game again. Bill, what are you looking for the weekend series here? What excites you for the Sox?
Hopefully a 3-game sweep, definitely taking 2 out of 3. Flaherty's on the bump this evening. And what I'm going to say now is some good news, bad news on Jack Flaherty. Mm-hmm. I read a couple articles on Baseball Prospectus that said that his option for next year is $20 million. It's a team option.
Yeah.
And that the market will be... So the good news is he probably won't be a Tiger next year, for those of you that are over the Jack Flaherty roller coaster. The bad news is Jack Flaherty's $20 million.
Bad news is he's desirable.
He is going to get a lot more money than $20 million. And
how is that possible?
And then how do you replace that slot? Saturday is going to be really exciting. You've got Perez up against Tarek Skubal. And then Sunday, Martin against Uncle Charlie Morton. The Tigers have to win tonight. They have to win tomorrow, because the game that I have the least amount of confidence in is Sunday. It is time, though, for the Tigers just to put the division somewhat out of reach. Not saying the White Sox have been in contention since the second week of the season.
Sure.
But right now, the Tigers are 81-60. They're 3-7 for their last 10. They're on a 1-game win streak. The Kansas City Royals are 9.5 back. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They've won 1. The Cleveland Guardians, or Indians, as you like to so fondly refer to them, 69-70. They're 11 back. 5-5 in their last 10. They've lost 1. This weekend, if the Tigers were to sweep, and fortune happened with the other 2 clubs that are somewhat chasing the season, I don't want to say
it's not mathematical yet.
No.
We don't have an elimination game yet, but
it's down to 13.
Down to 3. Yeah.
So, but if you picked up, let's just say the Royals are going to your city, your team, the Twins, I'm joking, is going to Kauffman, and the Guardians have to go down to the minor league bandbox that is George Steinbrenner Field. Let's just say they both lose 2 out of 3. Tigers win 2 out of 3. Pretty comfortable with 3 weeks left in the season. How are you feeling on that?
I feel fine. I think it's great. We've covered this ad nauseum now. We just need to win some games. That's all it comes down to. One thing I want to worry about sooner than then is Shane Smith. Shane Smith is a pitcher that this guy's been pretty good. His win-loss doesn't tell it, but his overall metrics do. He could give us fits tonight. I'm going to be watching this one pretty closely. If Jack Flaherty's not on his game and spots Shane Smith a couple runs out of the gate, we don't want to start a series like this off like that.
We need good Jack Flaherty more than ever tonight.
Yeah, we do. We need to start this series off strong and get 2 out of 3 minimum from the White Sox this weekend. I think we've beat this one to death. We're going to finish up this series here. Bill, any closing thoughts? No closing thoughts?
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Litter Box, a Detroit Tigers podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're Bill and Chet. We'll be back soon with more Tigers talk. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to follow or subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And hey, if you got a minute, leave us a quick review. Till next time, go Tigers.